Hey guys, welcome to the next video in our Salefreaks free training guide. In this video, I just want to recap over the previous videos which relate to the listing wizard, the locator where you scan and search for profitable items, and also take you through the process of filtering those items and then processing those items through our listing generator. So as you can see over in the top left hand corner beside dashboard, we have the tab which is listing wizard, and this gives us access to these three particular functions that I'm talking about. So on the first video, we talked about the listing wizard and how you can bring your items from a URL or from ASINs right the way through A to Z to be listed on your eBay store. So that gives you the functionality to filter your URL or list a single ASIN or multiple ASINs and take it through the whole process where they'll automatically go through the locator function and then also the listing generator function and to their endpoint, which is a nice new listing on your eBay store. So the next option down is the locator. This is the screen that I'm on at the minute. This is where we can search a specific URL and use the search and compare to compare those items against the competition, against those other items on eBay. Really good tool to have and ultimately get more listed items onto our eBay store. And then the bottom one is the listing generator. This is where the listings physically get produced onto your eBay store. So what we do in this process is we pull all the information, all the pictures, all the descriptions, the titles and everything from Amazon and then replicate that onto your eBay store. We also pull any missing information which we may not be able to find on Amazon, like the required item specifics, and also some of the recommended specifics as well. So we're pulling data from basically anywhere we can get it in order to give you the fullest listing on your eBay store and tick all the boxes with eBay as well. So on the last video, we looked at locators. We looked at the various different scans that you could run. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you what to do once those scans have been completed. So as you can see, I've got various different scans running. I'm going to click on this one here, which is new computers accessories. And then this gives us some options on this page. So like I say, if you're going through listing generator, you get to tick these options up front and then the process will go through to the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go for some filters to get some items onto my store. So I'm going to take away the cold and I'm going to take away the not competitive and no competition detected, because realistically we want to compare these with other people that are selling the products. We don't want to go in blind with products that no one's selling. We want to try and aim for the products that people are actually listing themselves. So let's go ahead and take those off. The higher they obviously go up the scale here, the more items you will get. However, I prefer just to take off cold and leave the warm, hot, very hot, and super hot on. And then if the items don't sell, I can always remove them afterwards. And like you can see later on in the course, it tells you how to remove those non-selling items. So generally, I'll be leaving items on my store for 30 to 60 days. If they're not selling, I'll just remove them again. However, if you want to be super strict with your eBay rank, you can take off warm, you can leave on hot and very hot. But let's just see what this brings us up with just this particular filter in place, and then we can look at other filters also on this. So as you can see, this has generated us 197 results. Now, bearing in mind, this hasn't Vero checked anything or checked for restricted items or keywords. So when we do list these products, we may get a number of them rejected. So the more that you put into the generator, the better, because you're going to get a lot of them rejected. You might have duplicate items on your store. And like I say, you might have those restricted items or items that could potentially be out of stock now. So we've got 197 items. As you can see, some of these have got percentage assumed profit, which is lower than what we will be listing as. Now, don't worry. Even if this says that the assumed profit is negative, you're going to list it as a profitable price based on your own settings. However, you're going to have more luck if you're closer priced to the competition. So what I would suggest is putting in a percentage profit that a percentage profit that you're happy with. So in general, I will just put this to 0% because I want to see all the results that come up at higher than 0%. And don't forget, you don't have to be the highest priced or the lowest price on the listings to make the sale. You just need to be in and around the competition. And then other things like how you optimize your titles and optimize your listing will set you aside from the rest. So we scroll back up, we can see this has generated 32 rows. So we've narrowed it down now from 197 to 32 rows. And depending on how many items you want to list, you might want to go ahead and leave it at that. Now, some people will filter out low review counts. Some people will filter out high star or low star counts by putting in 4 to 5 stars. Ultimately, what we do is we do this on the Amazon side. So when we're searching for a URL, I certainly search for anything above 3 stars and anything that has more, filter out anything that has below 10 views. So we'll pop that in there. Let's see if that filters it down any further. So that's taking it right down to 14 rows. So if you're being super, super strict and you want only the quality listings, then this is the way to go. If you want to go a bit more bulk, you can loosen up on those. Like I say, you can keep those lower ones in. You can keep even the negative profit in, because we're still going to list it at a higher percentage profit based on your global settings. And I can assure you, I have made sales on numerous items that this locator has said that it's low competition, but low assumed profit, and I've still sold them as a profit. But for the example of this video, we're going to take it down to 14 rows, and then I'm going to show you how to list them on the listing generator. So all we want to do is, when we're happy, we select all. If you want to go through the listings and you want to hand pick them, cherry pick them yourself, you can go through there and just tick those boxes. Or likewise, if you see something on there that you particularly don't want to list, you can just take it off. And then all we want to do is click export after we're finished. Now, it's also worth bearing in mind that you can actually click on these links. So just before we export them, we can click on the link. We can see the competitors' items on eBay, and we can check those competitors and see how many items that they have sold. We can see the buy price. We can see the ASIN, where we can click on to view. We can see the item on eBay. We can click on to view, and we can see the search phrase where we can click on to view. Okay. But when we're happy with that, if you want to check those one by one, you're more than welcome to do so, and the information is in there. Otherwise, we would just click on export. This will then automatically take you across to the listing generator page. And as you can see, the one that we've moved across now is loading up, and it's now ready to be listed. Okay. And we can just click on the link, and that'll take us to our listing generator. You can see in the top right hand corner that the 14 files have loaded up. Sometimes when this is a little bit bigger, the files do take a little while longer to load up. All we need to do is go in here, select the account we want to list those to, make sure our default template is on there. We can tag these as new. So whenever we create a URL, we locate the locator gets given a name. If you want to retag this as something else, you can tag that, and also you can limit the amount of items that are listed. So let's say we're only looking to list 5 items max on our store today. We could hit limit of 5. We could hit limit of 5, and then we could click on generate. And we click on generate, and the process begins to take shape. So we can see that the files are uploading now. Generally, I wouldn't sit here watching this. What we can do is we can go back in later and we can check and see how many files have been listed. So the files now been listed. We can see one item has been listed, 13 have failed, 11 of those has been Vero. What you can do, if you do wish to allow Vero and you know that you've checked and maybe the keyword doesn't relate to the certain item, or you're pretty sure that that item is fine because you've maybe sold it before and so on, you can go across and you can tick these little boxes across. And what that will allow you to do is force the Vero. So what you can do is you can go back into the generator, you can click on stop. So I'll just show you, you can click these on, you can click on stop. The search was stopped, and I'll give you the option to go back to the generator. and then you can regenerate those files with those ticked zeros in place, and the system will run through the same process again for you, only it'll allow those zero items that you have chosen to let through. Now, ordinarily on 14 items, one listed with a few zero, it's in a category of computers, accessories. There's going to be a lot of zero restricted items in there, that's for sure. And we've got 2 duplicate items, which means they're already listed in my store. So for a bigger store like mine, I will get a lot of errors. I'll get a lot of issues. And that's why I will go with a higher count, and I'll not narrow it down so much. So I'll keep those files to the 200, 300 mark, and then list and hopefully get 40, 50 items out of those 200, 300 listed. So hopefully this video has been beneficial for you. Like I say, we went through the recap. We showed you the different features in terms of the listing wizard, the locator, and then the listing generator. We've showed you how to successfully list your items from A to Z. We've showed you how to find items using URLs, listing single ASINs, and then going through the more manual process like we did on this video with the locator, filtering down those search results yourself, letting you be a bit more hands-on with how many items you want to push to the generator, showing you how to limit those items, and then ultimately going back to the generator, listing the items, and then coming back to this part again where we can go back through the zero items, we can force some zeros, and we get a bit of insight as well as to why certain items are failing as well. So again, hopefully it's been beneficial for you, and I hopefully catch you on the next video. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye bye.